In 2023, one of the most popular posts that we did on @Got Somme on Instagram was a meme, and it was pairing McDonald's food with Australian wines. Since then, people have been tagging us online, sending us photos drunk out on Saturday night saying, what would you pair this McDonald's Big Mac and quarter pounder with, Angus? So we've answered the call. We are pairing today 3 fast foods with wines from anywhere in the world. Master Sommelier Carlos Santos, you were in charge of the wines. I was in charge of the UberEats order. Got a super cali burrito and some chips. We have a Big Mac and fries, and we have got a zinger burger, a little bit of a spicy chicken. Carlos, this is going to be a lot of fun, and thankfully this isn't at 10 a.m. in the morning. It is at a respectable 12:30. I'm starving. What are we drinking today?
I'm starving and I'm thirsty.
All right. Well, this is going to be a great episode.
It's great, yeah.
Have you ever professionally paired fast food
No,
with...
no. It's the first time. In Portugal, where I'm from, obviously, they sell beer. So at best, they sell beer at McDonald's.
Yes.
So you can actually have a burger and beer, which is
I remember
good.
at the Leaning Tower of Pisa, right outside the exit, or the entrance, whichever way you're going in, is a McDonald's, and I had a beer there.
Wow, I've seen photos of this, but you can't really experience it until you're here. A McDonald's where you can get booze.
There you go. You see, so in Australia, you don't see that. You have soft drinks. So, starting from there, that was my best,
just forced pairing of
beer,
fast food.
Beer and Big Mac,
Okay.
But,
so how difficult was it to come up with the 3 wines you brought today?
No, I don't think it's difficult. I think it's about any other pairing is always think about what's the main protein and what the sauces, and because there will be sweetness, because the Big Mac has the sauce, which is quite sweet, right?
The secret sauce?
Yeah, fried chicken. Fried chicken is crunchy and is fried. So I'm thinking, something with really high acidity, something fizzy. Mm-hmm. So I thought a Riesling or a sparkling wine. And again, those are international producers, but this could have been Australian producers, right, from any wine region. And then what else? The tacos. With the tacos, I think the guacamole, which is really flat, no acidity, and fatty.
I don't think I paid for the extra $2 for the guac.
maybe no extra.
Ass.
That's fine. Still,
the
same
super
thing.
cali burrito, I think, is just like basically their chicken entry burrito.
No, that's fine. That will work very, very, because of the rice, the carbs. So they have no acidity. There's beans. So I think something with a lovely fresh acidity, really, really zesty will bring a lot of will be really good. And with the burger, I thought not a Nebbiolo, is a Dolcetto. Which is a very light grape variety, is the early ripening grape variety from Piedmont in Italy. We also see a little bit in Australia, so there are some producers that make this style of wine.
We're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. Let's focus on the first, though.
Yeah.
I'm going to use the complimentary chips that Taco Bell's meal had and a little bit of a queso cheese sauce.
Yeah, perfect.
This is going to be the sound transition between us going through the foods. So let's find out what Carlos has paired with a Prosecco.
Yeah, I think with the tacos, I would go for sparkling.
Okay.
Yeah, and fried chicken.
Well,
and
here
fried
you go,
chicken,
sir.
both. Okay, that's
I'm passing over half
nice
of the Taco Bell Super Cali Burrito. Yeah, I wouldn't cheers it too high. We had to throw the taco in the bin because our driver must have fallen off his bike.
Oh, really?
Splattered.
Okay, so tacos, I would go, either Riesling or sparkling wine. I mean, we could try the Dolcetto, but I'm assuming there's a little bit of spicy and red wine. I mean, can work. Some people will love it. Some people hate it. It's always very, very personal. What one like may not be what the other like. But I'm tempted to say, even the smell is smelling like spicy and crispy. But so I'm going for sparkling wine or the Riesling. We can try both.
There's chicken in this burrito, so that's hence why I think you've chosen a white wine. If it was a beef burrito, it would probably be a different story.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's try the Prosecco first. And while I'm having a sip, do you want to, hang on, you went to eat the food first.
No, you have a bite.
Oh.
I mean, you can have a sip to refresh the palate. And then have a bite on a burrito, and then try at the same time, like literally mix together. And whether it pairs like seamlessly, and you feel like there's nothing against each other, which I do not see anything going wrong with this pairing. So I think this will be a good pairing. And you can go on a bottle shop and buy a Prosecco for $15, which is the case of this one.
Well, as we are sponsored by Grey's, I have no problem for the next 12 months to say Taco Bell, no good. That is, that's pretty bland. I'm a Zambrero man myself when it comes to fast food Mexican. Guzman Gomez, not bad, but Zambrero for me. This is a distant third.
But try with them.
Okay, I'll try with the wine, see if I can save it.
And try with the sparkling. It's so good. It's like there's nothing. Brings a little bit of sweetness, which really, which almost brings flavor to the taco. As you say, there's no flavor.
Can you tell us a little bit about the Prosecco that you've chosen?
Prosecco is a DOC that can come actually from different wine regions in Italy, in the northern part of Italy. But Prosecco is made from the grape variety Glera, Glera. And it's meant to be, it's not a traditional method sparkling wine like a champagne or a cava in which the second fermentation is done in the bottle. With Prosecco is like a tank method. So basically carbon dioxide is added into the tank to create bubbles and then bottle under pressure. So it's a very cheap way of, or a lot less expensive way of making sparkling wine, and much easier, much faster process than champagne or traditional method. Traditional method will have a lot more toasty, biscuity, a lot richer flavors. While the Prosecco, because it is a much faster process, there is no autolysis or that breakdown of yeast into biscuit and brioche aromas, so it's much fresher, more citric, more appley, more zesty, and this one in particular, very, very gently off dry. There's a little touch of sweetness. So
if you want to find out what the wine is that we're drinking, of course, it's going to be written in the show notes. But for me, I'm not a sparkling or a Prosecco man. It's so funny how much I feel like it's obviously snobbery a little bit I love champagne, but the sparkling and Proseccos for me just don't even get close to the mark. It's such a the race is won before the first, couple of steps off the blocks.
So you just don't drink sparkling wine, you say?
I think Arras does good down in Tasmania.
Arras is very good.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good producer. I think in Australia, great stuff for sure. Daosa in South Australia, for example, is a project from Brian Crozer. There's quite a few. Ashton Hills used to be really, really good, but I'm not sure if they're still making wine. I don't think so. Ashton Hills was really good. Tasmania, in particular, several good producers. Arras is the best,
was good.
But there's Freshnet we tried.
That was good. We had that when we were down in Tassie.
These are the good producers.
I'm not saying there's not good producers. I'm just saying my personal preference is I love champagne. So the idea of bubbles, champagne as a wine, I love it. I think I'd love to celebrate with champagne. But then when something like a sparkling is placed in front of me, traditionally like a black tie function.
Surprised. You would be very surprised.
Okay, well,
blind tasting, champagne versus sparkling wine. You would
bring
be
it on.
We should
Chuck
do
that down as an idea.
Excellent.
Bring it on. This palate is ready. Time to move on.
Mm-hmm.
There you go, sir.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
So once again, you don't want me to try the Riesling first and then have a burger?
No, that's fine. You can, because now the palates are rinsed. We already have a few bites before.
Okay.
So have a bite on the burger, the bread, the sauce, the lettuce, and then the Riesling at the same time. I just like even the color of the wine and the color of the food is like, just match it. Just like have a sip together.
God, I love a Zinger burger, by the way. FYI. Just a great option. That's a nice Riesling, mate. That's less...
Oh, so good. It really, it doesn't overpower anything. It doesn't overpower the food. The food doesn't overpower the wine. They just go seamlessly.
This is good.
And it's not expensive. This is, I think...
The Riesling?
30. So if you buy in a bottle shop, this is probably between $30 and $40.
This is nice. It's weird, though. As a Riesling, obviously the first thing has been an Australian and really not tasting many international producers before starting this podcast with you. I always think, Clare Valley high acidity Riesling. This does not have that searing acidity that, I think most Australian drinkers are used to. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a different Alsace because it's the driest wine region in France. It's really protected from rain. From the Vosges mountains, so the clouds don't pass over. So it's really, really dry. So a lot of ripeness if they want, but also fairly coldish. So they can really, really manage very, very, very well when to pick, to manage acidity, sweetness, etc., everything. And also then flavor profile. It's just elegant. It's a little oily, but so delicious.
Got Somme has always been released on a Friday. We release this episode at 5 a.m. the podcast, 9 a.m. I think on YouTube. You've got the day ahead, and a lot of people do fast food Fridays. Like in our house, we get pizza mostly, but like we do fast food on Fridays, fish and chip Fridays. Maybe it's time to chuck a bit of a chicken burger in there. Even if it's from your fish and chip shop that do burgers, ask for a chicken burger, get KFC.
Yeah.
Check out this tonight. It's a perfect time to try.
Yeah, honestly, I prefer the Prosecco actually with the chicken burger. So even though I think the Riesling works really, really well, but the gentle off-dry touch of the Prosecco work really good.
KFC chips or McDonald's chips?
McDonald's.
Of course.
Yeah.
I do love KFC with potato and gravy. I think that's a great condiment. But for me, sweet and sour sauce and a McDonald's chip does top it out. We would love to know in the comments, though. Chuck it underneath our YouTube video. Do you prefer Maccas or KFC chips? Because do you want some KFC chips as a little tester?
Yeah, sure.
There you go.
Just a few. Oh, this is soggy.
I know, a bit soggy, yeah. I mean, we've been sitting in a bag for 30 minutes. Probably why our Taco Bell was sitting on the side of the road.
McDonald's chips all better.
Yeah. Well, we've had the KFC. We've both shared a chicken drumstick together. It's time to transition into the Maccas, the Big Mac.
Big Mac.
I think you actually got the pickle, so I don't want that to be too biased on my approach here.
Yeah,
you might have a little bit of a different. I don't want it. Please don't pick it out. I used to throw them against the window when I was a kid. Yeah. But we are pairing this with, what wine have you chosen? It's another Italian?
Another Italian, yeah. Because Italians, why? Because Italians are driven by acidity, and fast food is fat. It's fat and is rich flavor. So high acidity always brings that sense of freshness. So we're having a beef burger. Of course, Maccas, cheese, all fattiness. So I think Dolcetto will be really good.
Now, for those who are hearing this, and apologies if the food is a bit too yuck for you to listen to, we will edit out as much as possible on the microphone, we promise. But there will be some questions for those who are watching this on YouTube and Instagram about the glassware that we are choosing. We were approached ever since our famous Don't Drink Champagne Out of a Flute video, and we did get sent these glasses by Zieher, Zieher. They are pretty stunning wine glasses, I will say so myself. And so they are a new addition to the podcast. So thank you very much to those, and we'll put a link below so you can check them out for yourself. But
how does it work with the wine? It's pretty good, huh? It's pretty good. And funny enough, because the sauce, as I said, is a little bit sweet. On the beef, on a Big Mac, appeals to a lot of people, right? And then the pickling brings that pickling, freshness, acidity, and then the sauce is sweet, right?
Yeah.
And Dolcetto means little sweet, the little sweet. So it's the little sweet one. The earliest ripening is the most delicate wine from Piedmont. So it just all goes together,
Mm-hmm. I just had some Maccas chip with some sweet and sour sauce. Just now going to go for my second taste.
Well, there you go.
I will say what. I think for me, sometimes, obviously I sit in this podcast and I listen to it many times during the edit with Amelia, our producer, but I take a lot of headline stuff out, and I think our audience might as well. And for me, that was really important what you said, which was fatty food, fast food, high acidity.
Yeah.
That's something that you really do work with pairings.
Yeah, and 3 wines that are driven by acidity. You could go...
all of them are high acid, yeah.
All of them are high acid. Prosecco, sparkling wine is high acid. Riesling is high acid. And Italian varietals in general are high acid. And Dolcetto, Nebbiolo could be amazing. But of course, the price tag is a lot more expensive. We could go for extremely expensive wines. But I picked wines that, $15, $40, $35, $30, So wines that are accessible. If you go to Maccas, you probably just want something nice and, to go with.
You're not opening up a bottle of
Grange
Barolo or something while you're eating a Maccas.
You could, but
if you're a billionaire, I'm sure Jeff Bezos does whatever he wants.
Exactly. How likely? But so I thought to pick 3 inexpensive wines to match with inexpensive food, but that works deliciously, right?
You did say before we started recording, you would like to reference, obviously we've got 3 international varieties here. What are some Australian varieties that you would also match to separate or to choose instead of the Prosecco, the Riesling, and the, what is this again?
Dolcetto. Well, the truth is that if we are replacing this Italian Prosecco by an Australian, we have Prosecco in Australia. We have the similar style, like in the King Valley is really, really popular. You could go for a sparkling wine from South Australia, as I said, that was earlier. Aras, perfect. They are more expensive. They are more expensive than this one, but they are delicious and they will work really, really well. If we are going for a Riesling, as you said, Clare Valley, Eden Valley, great stuff. They have prestige, so perhaps a touch more expensive. We could go for Great Southern, like in Western Australia. They are great producers. Franklin River, for example, cool climate, really, really lovely, refreshing Rieslings. Tasmania, we try the Rieslings from Freixenet, etc.
That wraps up our episode for fast food. If you have other fast foods that you would like us to pair wine with, Carlos is going to reply to your comments on Instagram and YouTube. So put down the fast food that you love on a Friday, a Saturday, a Sunday, or maybe you're just a glutton and you love Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Tell us your favorite fast food and expect Carlos in the comments to reply underneath it within 24 hours. That's the Got Somme promise. Until then, thank you very much, Carlos, for pairing these wines. We appreciate it. And Salud.
Did you enjoy them, though?
Not the Taco Bell. It goes in the bin.
But that was the food fault, yeah? Not
food
the wine
fault, not the wine
fault.
fault.
Okay, perfect.
Though that floaty is still hanging around.